a noble colleague. I'm pharmacist Pancha Ignatius. I really appreciate this opportunity given to me to read the citation of Dr. Dangiwa. Let me go right ahead and go through the
Dr.
citation.
Dangiwa, please, let's see your video.
Can I, okay. Can I go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Dauda Dangiwa is a consultant, psychopharmacist, and clinical psychologist. He is currently a lecturer with the Department of Clinical Pharmacy and Pharmacy Practice, University of Jos. A 1987 graduate of Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. Is a pioneer set of the 2004 PharmD conversion program of University of Benin. He also holds a master's from University of Benin, MSc in psychology and pharmacoeconomics. He's a fellow lecturer at West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacy. He's also a board member of Clinical Pharmacists Association of Nigeria, that's CPAN, in Delta State. He worked in the hospital, consultancy, industry, and community pharmacy. He's a patron of PANS, University of Jos chapter, and also a patron of PANS National. He was the editor in Chief Pharma Info, in Zaria, and also an editor with FMC, Federal Medical Center, Kefi, in Nasarawa State. He's also an editor to a lot of journals in clinical pharmacy practice. He's an editor with AHAPU, that's Association of Hospital and Administrative Pharmacists in Nigeria. He's a peer reviewer to many local and international journals. He has coordinated many trainings on substance abuse sponsored by the World Bank and Center of Excellence in Medicine Research and Development, one of which they have a center in University of Jos. He's a secretary and a consultant to Part 2 Committee on drafting of a standard treatment guideline and essential medicine list to some states in Nigeria. Recently, he was one of the facilitators to empower virtual training for career opportunities for pharmacists in global health and supply chain. He's a member of CPAN Pool of Experts. He's once a regional sales manager with NGC PLC. He was a PSN member, conference member, organizing member in Mina. That's a conference held in Mina some years ago. He's also a member of PSN Presidential Inauguration and Fellow during the inauguration of our current PSN chairman. And he's also a secretary of the PSN National Disciplinary Committee. Currently, he's the PSN chairman, Plateau State, and also a coordinator for 4 states for the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacy. And as it is, his hope for the quest he's contesting for is to improve on the visibility, sustainability, and bilingual and originality of Nigerian journals of pharmacy. This is the brief citation of our doctor, that's Dr. Dauda Dangiwa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dapak, for the short citation you have read concerning the candidates with us this afternoon. That is Dr. Dauda Dangiwa. Quite loaded. I believe some of us are on board. We have 1 or 2 comments to say about these candidates. I mean, your personal experience meeting with him. Who is Dr. Dangiwa? I mean, we want to give 15 minutes open for people. You are only going to give 3 minutes and 3 people the opportunity to just say 1 or 2 things they know about this personality, and before we finally go to the engagement of today. So if you are willing to say something about Dr. Dangiwa, you can just raise your hand up and we'll give you the mic so that you can just say something, or we'll give you the opportunity to say something for the next 10 minutes. are going to allow anybody who has something to say about this person. We are not going to talk about anything than this personality that is meeting us this afternoon. So,
Hello.
hello, yes.
This is
Just raise your hand up if you want to talk so that we can give you the mic. Okay. Allah Shuaib.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, good afternoon.
My name is Thomas Bala Shoaib, speaking from Duse Jigawa. Uh, Welcome everybody to the program. And our candidate pharmacist, Dr. Dauda Dangiwa, I have to say is a well-experienced and versatile pharmacist who has actually branched out to other disciplines like psychology that has been read from his citation. And this has added a lot of value to what he has to offer because he's presently in the mental health aspect of clinical pharmacy, which is just an emerging field. And as you can see, this issue of the discipline of psychology will add a lot of value to his input to us pharmacists that are coming on deck. And like I said, the civilized Nigerian is amiable and forward looking. I hope and pray that pharmacists use this opportunity to vote for him as our next editor in chief. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Pharmacist Shuaib.
Thank you once more for the floor given to me. Um, Dr. Dauda Dangiwa, honestly speaking, he has really been a role model to the pharmacists specifically. Let me come from the young pharmacist axis because that's the constituency I call. He has really been there for us. As we see from the citation, he's a patron of FANS University of Jos. I was once time the president of FANS University of Jos and also national vice president when our secretariat was at Ocean State. And he's someone that really has pharmacy at heart. He has done a lot of things for young pharmacists and also all the pharmacists within the constituency is presently leading. That's Plateau State. He has really raised the bar of pharmacy in the state, and I'm sure if giving him this opportunity, even though to us the position looks as if it's little for him, but we believe that it's just going to be an avenue for him to do a lot of things for the pharmacy profession. I'm sure he will not only limit himself to the role of an editor, but I'm pretty sure he contributes a lot for the success of the present government. So I will encourage pharmacists to know that his candidacy is not in doubt, and we believe he's going to deliver on all the things he promised he will give to the pharmacists and for the growth of the association in general. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much. I think we will need to stop at this juncture to go to the next item on our agenda. That is to bring fully on board Dr. Oh, somebody is still raising up his hand. Dave. Okay, you need to say something. Okay, let's hear Dave out. Dave, you can mute your mic.
Mute. Yes,
okay,
hello.
Yes, Dave, you're on. Yeah.
Hello. Talking about Dr. Dangiwa. If Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria is about representation of the pharmacists, the entire pharmacist as a body, then I can fully recommend Dr. Dangiwa. This is because Dr. Dangiwa is well experienced in virtually every aspect of pharmacy practice for a number of years, and he has proven himself to be capable, and he has proven himself to be a man of the people, someone who relates and listens to others, someone who interacts with others, even those whose view happen to be different with his own. So I'm confident that Dr. Dangiwa will represent not a section of the pharmacy profession in Nigeria, but its entirety effectively. That is my personal conviction. And I want to believe that those who have come across him, who have interacted with him, many will agree with me. Thank you for this opportunity to express myself as well.
Thank you very much, Dr. David, for that one. So just like I was saying, we are going to right away to bring the man himself, Dr. Dauda Dangiwa, to the podium as he talks to us on his manifesto, his plan, and what he wants the position of editor-in-chief to look like in a very short while to come. So I'm calling on the Dr. Dauda Dangiwa right now to come on board and tell us in 20 minutes his plans, so that we will have a reason behind our votes next week Friday, right on the soil of Oshun. And I know it's going to be an opportunity for us to see what we can do. So this time, let me welcome Dr. Dauda Dangiwa to come on board right now as he takes on his manifesto. That is the next item on the agenda, to take on the manifesto, and that will be within 20 minutes. And we'll go to the other issues, which will likely crop up in the course of this program. Thank you very much. Dr. Dangiwa, you are welcome on board.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Let's see your video.
Good afternoon. Okay.
Yeah, great.
Once more, good afternoon, everybody. I thank the Pharmacist Affairs Group for this very good opportunity. I want to thank the PSN for this unbiased and transparent approach towards the contest for my position, the position of editor-in-chief. I want to appreciate some of you, all of those who found time to interact with me. I can see somebody from South Africa, that is David Mohammed Umar, who just spoke. I appreciate all of you from the nooks and crannies of this country. I'm sure we're going to have a fruitful interaction. First and foremost, I want to start from the known to the unknown. You agree with me that in my profile, you will see that I was once an editor-in-chief. And I felt I should start from that position because I have been known in that particular position. I had worked, and I'm still working as an editor-in-chief, as an editor to many journals. I'm also a peer reviewer to many indigenous and international journals. We are going to do this work because the job of an editor-in-chief is a teamwork. And thank God I have had the opportunity of working with different teams. For your own interest, I have worked in over 30 states of this country as a salesman or sales executive, as you call it. And in salesmanship, there's what we call, we look at a product we look at the features of the product and we transfer them to benefits. And so, first of all, I want to give kudos to the past editors-in-chief and their teams for a very brilliant job they've done to our journal. The last time I saw it was packaged in a cellophane bag, in a transparent one, and the quality of the paper was superb. I clap for them for that. But we know that presently we are in an era, in an ICTG era, and everything is online. And you will notice that's the first point I wrote there. Now, and by transmitting the visibility, that's the word. The visibility of this journal to all the nations of the world. All the nations of the world, I'm going to interact with many schools and organizations. After all, I represented Nigeria in NAFSA, which I did not write in my profile. I represented the PSN at NAFSA during the opioid crisis at my presentation. I interacted with their leadership. And thank God, Dr. Professor Teresa Pounds is the waiting president of NAFSA. Ikeme is already there. So I know them one-on-one, and we're going to bring them. Apart from that, the FIP, the other member nations, I'm going to bring them on board to increase the visibility of this journal. They are going to be co-editors with us because quarterly to them. And even the MDCAN, that is the Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria, I interact with them and attend their meetings. Universities, I know people and I interact with them. Being a salesman, my social outreaching is very simple. You sell yourself before you sell your product. And so I'm going to use that philosophy to sell our journal. Self-sustainability is the next thing I wrote there. If this journal is visible to the parts of the world, what I intend to do, we have an issue. The PSN journal is being funded by the PSN, which means it is a cost center. Their income generation, I don't think, is much. But in this depressed economy we are entering, the Nigerian economy or any developing economy, we want to, so everything we discuss, we must also look at the economic implication and how positively it will increase this. We intend to make sure that after a year or two, the journal should sustain itself. A cost center for the society. We must reduce the cost centers in the PSN. The PSN should have revenue generating sources. And so there are going to be different editions. There could be conference editions which will carry advertorials. There will be scientific publications based on some different practice settings of pharmacy and research-oriented centers. I'm going to bring some scientists to publish in this journal. There will be an edition with them. So, and I'm going to increase the frequency of the publication. Presently, we have one journal a year. This journal started around about 1971, that it has been continuous. That's had a chronological production without breakage. But a singular edition does not go well for sustainability. And so I intend, presently, the MDCAN journal is monthly. The NMA journal is bi-monthly, sometimes monthly. But we can start a quarterly journal, we start a biannual journal, quarterly, and then we increase the frequency so that we have many unpublished articles. And I'm going to bring them out. I'm going to interact with other technical groups in PSN. They have journals. You can see I'm also an editor with their half-end journal. Some of the articles, we'll print them and publish them in our journal. We'll ask them. And the rates presently is this 15,000 naira and then 45 for non-members. We're going to look at it. A journal we are all working towards increasing the impact factor of this journal. And if the impact factor is improved or increased, mainly it will attract articles within and without. The next is that, I've been a salesman, and so selling this, marketing the journal will be something I'm still presently a salesman, because before you can teach, you have to sell yourself. And in teaching, you have to sell your ideas. So that is what we're going to do as a team. I'm a consultant to some outfits, and I'm in touch with many businesses that are into selling. And I interact with them and give them my ideas for a token. Also, you will see that I wrote bilingualism. Nigeria is an island in a French Ocean. All the countries that surround Nigeria are Francophone countries. For a journal to be visible online and to self-sustain itself, you have no option than to make it a bilingual journal. Ça va? Moi, je suis un professeur de français aussi. Je écris bien français tous les jours. I just changed so I could know that I also speak French. I'm always in Niger Republic doing public health outreaches. Why was I chosen? Because I speak French. This journal is going to be a bilingual journal. Take it or leave it. Comparability. This journal, my intention is to compare this journal with the MD Khan journal and the Nigerian Medical Association journal. You agree with me, as a salesman, there's always a market leader in selling. And as a teacher, the best quality has to be sold. I have to improve on the quality of this journal. After taking editors from within and outside Nigeria, from Francophone and Anglophone, for a bilingual journal, it has to be compared to other journals, not only in West Africa, but in Africa. Most of the East African countries are Francophone, are also Francophone countries. And so we intend, you can see, Mohammed Umar spoke from South Africa. We have links. We have links with most people, and FIP is a major link. So what we intend to do, based on comparison, we are going to make sure that we look at this journal with PubMed, make sure it's indexed in PubMed, Google Scholar, and other prominent journals in the world. So that once our journal is placed side by side those journals, there's no need, it will attract articles. I've sent some articles now to the NMA journal. It has been accepted for over 6 months, it has not been published. That's to show you that there are many articles still lying behind. So once we build our journal to that level, we compare it with those journals, we understudy the processes and the quality of the journal, and by making it a bilingual journal, we will compare it also with other journals in the world, and then it will sell itself like hotcakes. Selling it is like selling ice to the Eskimos. Every pharmacist is not going to be like a token because you pay for it, but you will desire to buy and give other members outside pharmacy who would like to send the articles for publishing in our journal. Also, you will notice that this journal, it has had most prominent editors-in-chief are still in Nigeria. We will discuss with them. I will discuss with other editors in other journals, and then we'll make sure that we bring out the best comparable to most journals. The last but not the least, as an editor-in-chief, I'm not only going to serve as editor of PSN journal. I'm going to be a NEC member of PSN. From my profile, you will see that I was once vice chairman, ACPN Delta State. I've also had a position on the plateau before I left. I've worked in over 30 states of Nigeria. And so my interaction, my social relationship, my social ventilation with other colleagues is going to be an advantage, because hardly do you go to any state that I have not gone to. It's only Ekiti, Oyo, and Oshun that have not worked officially. But as the last position I held as a sales manager was regional sales manager, Southeast, South, Ondo, and Kogi State put together. And having walked around Nigeria, I think I will build a bridge for the PSN. It might interest you to know that the NMA as a team, comes to visit me in the PSN secretariat with my team for us to work together. I have a very good PR. One, to buttress my point, most of those of them in the hospital, some of them were my classmates, if not at FGC JOS. They were my schoolmates, my university mates in ABU or other universities. Well, to have come from FGC USOSA is an umbrella organization. We meet at different fora, and we are meant for the unity of this country. Our motto is Pro Unitate. We come for unity. And what we stand for is to make sure that nothing divides us. I'm coming as a build bridger for the PSN. I'm coming as a build bridger for pharmacies and pharmacies. I look at the pharmacy practice as derailing. As a sales manager, in those days, we don't sell ethical products to non-pharmacies, but these days the order. The YPG, most of their jobs are being taken over by non-pharmacists. At NEC, these are some of the things we are going to interface and make sure that pharmacy is meant for pharmacists. There are many things as a PSN chairman that have gone outside my share to achieve with my team here on the plateau. We will cooperate. I work in tandem. I work in unison with the police, with the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, with the NYC. I meet both all healthcare corpers and interact with them. We try to build bridges. This issue of isolating yourself and operating as only pharmacists will not help us. We need to interface with these other professionals and the security and paramilitary agents so that PSN will work well. So I will be an ambassador of PSN at NEC with other professionals. I will not sit, apart from doing my duties as editor-in-chief with the team, I will also use the opportunity to interface with government, non-governmental organizations, and other agencies to see that PSN is known. One of the major things I do on the plateau is pharmaceutical evangelism. I'm sure it's a new word to you. We market pharmacy. We market public health practices by pharmacy. And we are friends with the print and electronic media. So these are places we will do. I will interface with the PSN president for that. And we will ensure that pharmacies are well catered for. A welfareist package, Pan Nigeria. If you come to the plateau, within the past 3 months, I've gathered close to 3 million naira to assist pharmacies that are in their need. I have set up a widow's endowment fund for innocent children, orphans, and widows. This is to take care of them. So outside my job, I see brightness and light, not only as editor-in-chief, but as a member of NEC. I will advise the PSN president and other members of NEC to see that this association is moved beyond its present position. Most of the past PSN presidents are really generals, and I salute them. We will make sure we carry everybody along. I will make sure that the PSN president listens and I advise him. I will make sure that I interact with the younger pharmacists. My present personal assistant is a coordinator of the YPG. I chose him because I want to interact with that level. If we do not bequeath a practice that is worth taking to them, forget it. After all, pharmacy is gone. You will see me in many associations or interest groups of pharmacy. I've practiced as a hospital pharmacist. I was their secretary. Industrial pharmacists at the states of this country. I've practiced as a consultant. I'm practicing as a teacher and a resource person. I've been board chairman of other of pharmacy companies, industrial companies. And so I think I have what it takes to be an editor-in-chief of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, because I will improve on the visibility of our journal. I will make the journal self-sustainable. 3, there will be a Francais aspect of the journal because of its bilingual nature, because of the nature we found ourselves presently on the plateau. I've organized a French class for pharmacists, diploma in French, so that young pharmacists and even older ones can French for professionals go outside Nigeria and practice. I say you have to look at the availability, the opportunities, and meet them. The journal will be comparable to other world-cited journals. I will make sure with my team that the impact factor based on the above parameters is improved. Our journal will be sought for like hotcakes. Distinguished colleagues, within and without, if only you cast your vote, I'm ready to work for PSN as an editor-in-chief and a member of NEC. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dangiwa, for that beautiful presentation. Basically, you have told us all you have in mind to do if you become the next editor-in-chief. However, we know very well that some of our people also have questions in their mind. And that is why at this junction, we would like people to ask any question they think is necessary. We have asked people to send their questions. I have a few of them that I can read out. But for people on the platform, you can send your questions to the chat room so that the question you have. Somebody has raised up his hand. Emeka Emeno. So, but you have to connect your mic because I don't think you are even hearing us. So we have some questions that we want to ask, and the few I have with me also, I will also ask. So anybody from the floor, your question. Okay, while we are waiting for questions from the floor, let me quickly go to the little one that I have with me that can help Dr. Dangiwa to address us better. 1 minute. Okay, as editor-in-chief, Dr. Dangiwa, what will be your role to enhance research activity, not only among pharmacists in academia, but also in community and other aspects of the pharmacy practice? So what are your activities? How do you want to encourage research work, research activities beyond among the academia? That's a question to you, Dr. Dangiwa.
Yeah, well, thank you for that question. I think from Semeka Omiano. First and foremost, it is going to, as an editor-in-chief, first of all, it is a collaborative work. You agree with me that you saw that I am an editor with the FMCK Journal of Clinical Practice and AHAP-N. We intend to bring all those editors together so that there's an overflow of articles, so that there's training for them. I'm a member of NAPA. NAPA has her own journal. We will ventilate ideas. We are going to harness ideas and make sure that pharmacists publish their findings. Those of us in community pharmacy practice are sitting on a heap of data that is yet to be published. They can access grants from different organizations outside this country. And so it will, you know, it's not a simple issue, it's a collective issue. I've had meetings with them, has made me to be very frank with you, like this for them. Most of their herbal preparations, Professor Noel Wanang is the chairman of the COVID-19 research team on the plateau. Take your herbs to him. For the community pharmacists, we're going to interface to make sure, show them areas, and we're going to make sure that we encourage that awards are given. All the hospitals, some of them even have journals. I know that in FMC Asaba, when I was there, the present chairman, Dr. Kingsley Amibo, started a journal. I was a major contributor to that journal. I'm in Napa. I'm in Kefi. And so it goes to show that now, whether you are in community, whether you are in academia, whether you are in consultancy, whether you are in public health, whether you are in production, we will all bring articles together. But how do we do it? The editors in those organizations or members will have access. There will be free flow of information. This is a digital age, and so we will correspond with them and make them realize there will be online training. In fact, this Zoom meeting, I'm supposed to be writing an exam on substance abuse, online, international examination. But we could not connect, and this one came up. This one is very meaningful to me, so I have asked if they can give me the exam. And after this, I will hook up with them. So just to tell you that different areas, different fora will be brought online. After all, this is the digital age. And trainings will be done within and without, with NAPSA, with FIP, with different pharmacy interest groups, different departmental interest groups, whether you're in pharmacognosy, pharmchem, will interact with you and make sure that you publish. And if we have articles stockpiled, we can look for a special edition on some particular features and publish them. So what do I mean by that? Everybody, we will encourage everybody to publish whatever information he or she has. If your information, don't hide any information. And how do we do that? by training. We encourage, during the conferences, there will be poster presentations for some very important articles. Poster presentations will be showcased, and that will serve as a stimulus to members of the PSN. Those of them that are outside PSN, in fact, we will also have special editions to encourage them and make them realize that their publications can be taken apart from the regular publications or special edition. That will approach that.
For you, Dr. Dangiwa, currently, Pharmacy Journal is given freely and once yearly. Do you hope to put a price tag on the journal as a way to improve the production and to attach greater value on it by pharmacists?
Journal going to be given free continuously, and how do we sustain the value of the journal? Is that not the question?
Yes, that's
first and foremost. You should know that there's no free lunch. There's no free lunch in any part of the world, even in Freetown. Presently, the journal is given free because the PSM funds it. Even though some people subscribe and pay for the journal, but it's infinitesimal. So what we intend to do is this. We will write on that principle to make sure that the journal is self-sustaining. And if we collect money from outside to print that journal, you have to buy it. Maybe when we are funding it, we tend to increase the frequency, and once we can print it ourselves, we believe that many people will subscribe to that journal and it can fund itself. And once it funds itself, we might only give complimentary copies to different interest groups and let's say academic institutions or universities or training institutions to increase their awareness and visibility. Those are the hard copies. But you know, online copies, you have to pay online to access those journals. So where we're going is this. Presently, but when we get self-sustainability, we don't give any funds. This is how we approach it. Starting and leveraging on the resources we are going to accrue from advertorials and publications in the journal to sustain itself, and then members will be encouraged to buy. Thank you. The quality will sell itself.
Okay, thank you. I hope you have succeeded in telling us that's about quality and making value for it. Will make it better for anyone to show commitment to buying. Well, maybe this is the last one I have, and it has to do with how do you hope to transform the Pharmacy Journal to an online journal, whereby it comes online, which will improve which can actually help the frequency. So the question is, how do you hope to transform the current Pharmacy Journal to an online journal? That's the question.
Presently, it is a monolingual journal. It is restricted to only pharmacies and maybe a few maybe a few pharmaceutical societies or non-pharmacies. We told you we are going to improve. We are going to make it a bilingual journal. We are going to attract people using the FIP membership to be co-editors in this journal. And by being co-editors, the visibility of this journal will astronomically increase. This journal, people will publish from all parts of the world in this journal because of an improving visibility based on the editorial team. And I told you, you see on Professor Dufrosé aussi, we are going to reach out to the Francophone countries because it is a monolinguistic journal. That is why the publicity and the marketing outfit is restricted. I've told you that the niche market and the giant leader in Nigeria in healthcare publishing, look at this pharmacy magazine by Atway. He has made it because of the adverts, the magazine selling itself. So here we are going to enlarge the editorial team and beyond the shores of this country using FIP, using other institutions of learning in the world to attract articles. And by making it online, the visibility will improve. And so these editors will also market it from their own countries. So it's going to be a transnational journal. They will serve as agents. With time, we're going to have a marketing manager for this journal. If I've sold products 70 million in a month, I hope we will sell this journal more than that. Because knowledge rules the world. The developing economies of the world, they are in an information, they are in knowledge age. But we in the developing economies, the developed are in knowledge, the developing are on information. We're just seeing information. So we're going to bridge that gap by using those of them in the knowledge age and those of us in the information age to advance our course, to get to their stage too, by harnessing and bringing articles to our journal. I hope I've made sense.
Thank you very much. I think at this juncture, we'll yield to the people on the platform. Perhaps you want to ask your question, you can type it out on the chat room. Otherwise, we may give the opportunity to ask directly. We don't have any question typed out. No question yet, except those one that was sent. Is there anybody also ready to ask any question? Well, at this juncture, I think we have listened to Dr. Dangiwa far away from Jos, and we are all scattered around the country. And I believe every one of us, we're already preparing our bags to hit the soil of Osun from weekend. One thing I just know is that some of us who didn't have better understanding of who Dr. Dangiwa is, some of us, we have a little information now. And I believe it will assist us as we take that step next week, Friday. Well, at this junction, let me get over to Mrs. Druwayi to just give vote of thanks and to round up this edition this afternoon. Thank you very much. Dr. Druwayi, over to you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. It's been a very, very delightsome time. We want to appreciate you all for your time. We know it's not really convenient. A lot of people are still at work, and you just had to squeeze out to participate in this very enlightening session. For me, I've learned a lot, and it's beautiful in the sense that the expression, you had enough time. I imagine at the conference, you'll just have about less than sometimes 3 minutes to just say your program. So you just rush through it and it's not very clear. Dr. Dangiwa, we especially appreciate you. Dr. Dauda Dangiwa, thank you very much for availing yourself to sell your proposal to us, your plans and how you want to achieve it. Well, we are hopeful that when the conference comes, God is going to help you to push through with the dreams you have. They are lofty dreams, and we wish you all the best. Thank you so much for your time. To every participant, thank you all for coming. We appreciate you.